Okay, so let's chat. So 10 double-digit comeback victories, the most in the nation, right? Double overtime against Middle Tennessee for the CBI championship. How could it be any more fitting, right, for your program? The resiliency, toughness, grit, all the things that you preach throughout the year, your team really is the example of that. And what I'm curious about is, what happens behind the scenes, behind closed doors that we don't see. How do you cultivate that toughness in the heart of each one of your players and keep that for the endurance of the season? How does that happen?
I got that question before, and I'm just like, I just kind of think back to, when we put the team together and everything we did in the summertime. I talked to you about this at the tournament, the meetings that we had talking about our core values and, the life skills stuff, just kind of building that bond and building that family.
Yeah.
And this is the first team that I've been a part of that, when you say family on three, like, it's like they mean it. And it was beautiful to watch it develop over the summertime. When we started summer school, our upperclassmen and the guys that were already on campus, when the new guys were coming in, they were going over and helping them move in and unload.
Wow.
And so I started to think, man, we may have something here.
Right.
And it kept going. They started, planning like team outings, going to Buffalo Wild Wings, watching the playoffs and doing different things together. And we would do things as a team with the coaches, but, I could start to see that bond forming. And then you fast forward to the preseason, we took them through it. We had a really tough preseason, and because I knew that this group, I didn't know how tough they would be. So I knew I had to kind of push those buttons. And then so we go through the preseason, and then we start our non-conference, and it's kind of up and down. Yeah. It's up and down. But the one thing that we always did, those guys, they always believed, and they came to work every single day. Like, we didn't have a bad day. We didn't. And I didn't let them have a bad day, even when it was going that way. So,
yeah.
And our seniors, they really were at the forefront of it. They were. And, so it was up and down. And then we hit that skid where we were 3-5, and we got our tail kicked at Jacksonville. People don't realize, and nobody would ever realize on the outside, but leading up to the Jacksonville game, we had 10 days to practice. And we were kind of changing things a little bit. I think at the time, I want to say almost half of our shots were coming from three.
Sure. Wow.
And we realized that wasn't who we are. Mm-hmm. And so we started changing things a little bit offensively and some things defensively. In the Jacksonville game, we were still going through it a little bit. And so after that, I brought them in. We all took a day, and we brought them in after, and I took them out to the trophy case in Trask.
Did you?
And I showed them the 2015-16 championship trophy. And I told them, I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to win the regular season. Do not let this define your season. What happened the other night? We're going to get that out of our system. We're going to go in here. We're going to continue to practice hard, and we're going to go on a big streak here. I told them those exact words. I didn't know that we were going to go on a 12-game winning streak. I did not know, but I told them that we're going to go on a big streak here, and to block out all the outside noise, and let's just lock in and do what we're supposed to do. And we punched the clock. We kept going, and then we had a non-conference game against Mount Olive. And it was great for us because we were kind of like, are we good enough? And we had to shake the rust off. We started making shots.
Yeah.
We had a really good, a feel-good game. And then we went up to High Point and won an overtime game at the buzzer, really. Jalen Sims hit a runner at the buzzer. Right. And then came back home and finished up strong against Campbell. And we kept going from there. And, I think those times, Carly, built our toughness up.
Sure.
And helped us get through the conference season and all the adversities that we faced in games, being down 10, 12 points, that was nothing compared to what we have been through. So I think
Right.
those guys were built for it in the non-conference, in the preseason, summertime. And I think that just kind of, carry with us the rest of the season.
Yeah, down to the final buzzer, literally it carried with you. And, it's one thing to say it. I talked with some of your players and they said it didn't matter what was on the scoreboard. They had that confidence, that will, that desire, that deep desire to win. So it's one thing to say it, but then it's another thing to see it time and time and time again, right? All throughout the duration of the season. But you hit on those moments, those little moments, whether it was the meeting at the trophy case, sharing a meal with your teammate, helping someone move in. It really is those details that put together that collective victory. And another pivotal moment that I would love to just learn more about is after the championship final game in Washington, D.C. against Delaware. You lose by 4 points. I don't know how that felt. I wasn't in the locker room, but that stings. But then here you are again in an opportunity to say, guys, we got to find a way. We're going to find a way to extend the season and once again challenge ourselves to say this is not how it ends. And so what did that period of time look like? You head back into the locker room and say, CBI, all right, Daytona, here we come. Here we are.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was hard. That was hard on everybody. Coming into the locker room, like as a coach, it's like, what do you say?
Right.
I just told him, hey, I'm sorry, guys. It didn't go our way. We are still champions. That doesn't define your season. But they're like, that's white noise. Like, they can't hear anything I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I just told them, I'm sorry. I love them. We had a tremendous season and we get an opportunity to extend our season. And they weren't trying to hear that. They were like NCAA or nothing.
I know.
And so what I did, I talked to him, and then we got on, we got back home and I let him go for about 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
And, I was texting him and I had to get myself together too, because I was in a bad place. Just kind of going back, maybe I should have, I told him, I said, I didn't do a good job of making you guys do us to the best of our ability. I thought we were on our heels a little bit. I thought we should have got after him a little bit more.
Wow.
And so I took all the blame for it. And we got to practice. I want to say it was that Monday after everything. And we had a meeting and I talked to him about the tournament field and how special it would be. But they still weren't trying to hear it. I could just kind of tell, they were like, all right, let's just get this over with. So I just kind of put it in perspective for them that we still could play for a championship. And so we went up there and I didn't know what to expect because our practices were just okay. They were just okay. I mean, they weren't great. And as coaches, we were just like, let's go up here and just make it fun for them. And that's what I did. We kind of tailored back a little bit on our scouting and our, on the court stuff. We tailored back and made it more fun for them.
Wow. Yeah.
And so once we got through that first game, I could kind of see they were excited to be there. And then when we won the Drake game, coming back from 22 down.
22 points.
That's really
something.
when I said, okay, these guys, they really, they really want to do this.
Yeah.
And the next game was easy for us. We beat Northern Colorado by 14, 16 points. That was easy. Yeah. And we got to the championship game. I could see it. They really wanted it. And the way we capped the game off was, our season right there in 45 minutes, 50 minutes. It was that was it right there. So that's just kind of how we approached everything, moving forward from the tournament. And I'm good now. I was in a bad place, but I'm good now. So isn't
that something? I mean, it is just life, right? Like those failures, they drive a different hunger and a different, learning period of time. And so it was really cool to see that transpire in your program. And one thing that really, I know, spoke to me when we chatted was, talking about you receiving the CAA Coach of the Year honor. And you said, yeah, I didn't really tell the boys. I didn't tell them. I just let them know their accolades, what they accomplished this season, and let the rest be the rest.
Right.
And so that speaks volumes. And what I just am curious to know is, after a win like this, because you're all about the team. Like, you took accountability for the law. You guys, it's so clear what a unit you have. So how did you celebrate? How did you, in that moment after the season was sealed with that CBI trophy, celebrate with your boys?
Yeah.
Like, what was that like?
Yeah, that was fun. We got to spend some time out on the court and, talking to them, just seeing them as happy as they were.
Yeah.
That was everything for me.
Yeah.
I just kind of took a step back. I don't know if you watched, I just kind of took a step back and just, I was just looking at them. They were so happy to be able to cut down nets and hold a trophy up. We got our ice cream, and that's what we do. We got our rose scoops. We call it rose scoops. So we had some ice cream together, and
What's wrong with that?
just kind of kicked back and laughed a little bit and talked about the season a little bit. And I let them go. I don't know what they did. I don't want to know, because they had some time in Daytona. But I took the staff out to dinner.
That's awesome.
We had a staff dinner and spent some time together, and it was special. Then we come back home and our fans were waiting on us. And
Trask, right?
I think they knew how special our fans were. But when we got back and we were walking in the building, they were like, wow, like, these people really do love UNCW basketball. So, just to see the smiles on their faces was everything for me.